Hey there, and welcome to You Talk. Hey there, and welcome to You Talk. I'm your host, Ryan Funk. We highlight stories of individuals across Canada and the diversity that can be found here. We also talk with organizations and individuals who can help those who are coming or are new to Canada. If you've recently arrived or are in the process of trying to, come to Canada, the process can be incredibly confusing. If you're looking to move to a smaller city in the countryside, the Morden Immigration Program can help. Known for its skilled workers program, Morden Immigration has been recognized, being highlighted in a documentary, and their immigration coordinator spoke at a conference. Shelly Voth is that immigration coordinator and walks us through the program and why moving to Morden is an excellent opportunity for newcomers.
My name is Shelly Voth, and I'm the immigration coordinator for the City of Morden, and I've been in that role since 2013.
So, what first attracted you to that position?
I had been working with immigration and human resources before that, and I saw this as an opportunity to do a little bit of both of those, and it's been a really great fit for me, and I've really enjoyed it.
So, tell me a little bit about Morden Immigration, what you do, and kind of how your the workflow and just the organization has been affected since COVID-19 hit.
COVID-19 has affected us a lot in some ways. The biggest way is that because of the border restrictions, the people who have been approved for permanent residence to land in Morden haven't been able to land. So we haven't been seeing the new families arriving at the same amount that we have in the past, not nearly the same amount that we have in the past. And that has affected a lot of things and has been affecting our employers. Our employers are really hoping that those borders will open up again soon once COVID is over, and they can have some additional help in filling some of those open positions.
Yeah, so I'm guessing that the demand for skilled workers coming over is pretty high then in Morden.
Yeah, the demand is really high right now. The COVID hasn't seemed to have affected a lot of our businesses. They haven't been affected a whole lot. And those jobs are still to be had. There's still expansions happening. Businesses, a lot of them are still doing really well, and they need those workers.
So I know Morden Immigration has the skilled worker program and the MPNP business program. Can you go into a little bit more detail about what exactly those are and the process involved in them?
Sure. The skilled worker program is a formal partnership that we have with the MPNP, which is the provincial nominee program, Manitoba provincial nominee program. And for that program, our selection committee is able to select applicants that we feel are the best fit for Morden and the jobs that are available here. So with that selection, the applicant's able to apply to the Manitoba Provincial Nominee Program with additional points which boost their chances of success in immigration. For applicants who are wanting to make an investment in Morden, there are several ways that we can help them with that process. And I'd invite interested people to contact me, and we can talk about some of those options that are available.
Morden has, people from all over the world are coming. So where are people all coming from, and how are they finding out about this immigration service?
People are coming from literally everywhere, a wide variety of countries. The longer the program goes on, the more variety of applications and where they're coming from comes in. And that's what makes Morden so special, is there's less segregation, I think, between different cultural communities, because there's just so many different cultural communities. It's not a us versus them, but it's such a very diverse population that has a lot in common with each other. With that said, the countries right now that are landing with the highest numbers would probably be Philippines, India, Eastern European countries, Brazil, many others. As far as where they're hearing about it from, we've just been around for a while and we don't really do any advertising. It's more of word of mouth. People that have moved here want their friends to come, and people that have moved here want their family to come. And even within a country, we'll start getting a few applications and all of a sudden we'll start getting hundreds more applications from that country. It's just it's the word spreads, and that's really all the advertising we've had to do.
Yeah, and yeah, you mentioned the Filipino community is really growing out there in the Pembina Valley.
It is. It's a community that is really doing well within our community, and yeah, we're happy to welcome people from the Philippines for sure.
You touched on a little bit more like that inclusiveness of communities there. So I guess that's one of the major reasons people are choosing Morden. What are some other reasons?
Morden's known to be friendly and welcoming, and that's something that I'm really proud of. And I hope that most people have had a really good experiences with landing. Many people are choosing Morden because they don't like the busyness of a larger city. They might be from a smaller city from where they came from, and they aren't interested in places like Toronto and Vancouver. They're tired of being worried about their kids' safety. They're looking for a place that's small but still has good education and healthcare and services. Many people who choose Morden because they want a safe place to live are surprised when they get here that such a small community has the infrastructure and opportunities that it does. And also from the investor side of things, investors are choosing Morden because we're growing, we're diversifying, and we also have a good skilled worker program that supports their businesses' growth.
Yeah, so I know Morden has, been recognized for its immigration program. I've seen YouTube videos of people from different countries talk about it, and then all of a sudden you just hear Morden as they're speaking in a different language. You're like, oh, that's exciting. Yeah. And Morden was also the Morden immigration program was also featured in a documentary. What kind of separates Morden's immigration program from other services in Manitoba and across Canada?
Yeah, we're proud of the success that our program has had, and it's created a lot of good buzz. And it's the people that have landed here and have made their lives here that I think is creating that good buzz for Morden. I think it's due to a couple of factors. There's available jobs, and we try as hard as we can to pick people that are going to fit in well to jobs when they get here, so it's less stressful for them. It's also a city that for the most part is open and welcome to immigration, and that you can't find that everywhere. I'm really proud of our city that we have been, I think, welcoming to people that have landed. And we've got some great programs and services in place to support both the program management itself and also the successful settlement of immigrants through our Regional Connections Office.
We talked about two programs, the Skilled Worker Support and the MPNP Business Program. What are some other services that Morden Immigration provides?
As far as services, mostly our program it deals with the intake. So it's the process of getting here is what we do. And once they get here, there's another office, the Regional Connection Settlement Services, that offers the settlement services that help them set up their life here. A service that I think is important and is appreciated by people is through our program, you kind of have one contact person throughout the whole immigration process, and it's a complicated process, and it's a long process, and to always have the same office to connect to, even just to say, hi, it's been a while, I wonder what happened to my application, how much longer do you think it's going to be? I can't always answer those questions, but just having a friendly person to kind of walk them through there is something that's really special about our program.
Yeah, so like a very consistent voice when they're reaching out to people, and kind of like maybe even like an anchor to a potential new life here in Canada.
It's very much that, yeah. Before the borders closed, most of our people that came through our program had to come on an exploratory visit for a week before they formally entered the program. So they got a chance to meet people in our office. We have somebody, Linda, who shows them around for the week, and they get to see all the places where they would buy groceries and their kids would go to school, and potential workplaces and things to do in their spare time. And by the time they get back, they know Linda, they know me, they know some other people in the community, and it's almost more of a welcome home than it is I'm moving to a new place.
They kind of know the ins and outs of the community before they get here. They're just not deers in a headlight kind of situation.
Yeah, I think it makes what must be an extremely scary experience into something maybe a little bit less scary.
So, in terms of immigration numbers, how many families and individuals are we seeing come over through the Morden Immigration Plan? Maybe what the numbers were pre-COVID, what they were during kind of this COVID time, and kind of maybe some of the expectations looking forward as restrictions hopefully start easing soon.
Yeah, numbers are a little bit hard to talk about because they do fluctuate a lot. Even without COVID, they do fluctuate depending on how fast the different government levels are dealing with their parts of the application. Sometimes people will all come in a clump one year and then there's not much the next year. We aim for about 50 or 70 families a year. That's kind of what our goal is, but it does obviously go above and beyond that a little bit depending on when people choose to land. And with COVID, we're expecting that it's going to be quiet for a little bit more, and then we expect that it's going to be very busy. And our employers, I think, will be really thankful for that.
Yeah, everything's gonna just it's kind of like just a blockage in the pipe, and it's all gonna come rushing out eventually.
Yeah. So we're trying to get our sleep now and prepare for the future.
Yeah, the calm before the storm.
Very much, yeah.
Yeah, so walk me a little bit more about the immigration process when coming to Morden. So there's a step involved in Morden, there's a step involved with government. So what do people need to know about when they're looking at creating a new life out in the Pembina Valley in Morden?
Sure, yeah. The very first step would be to take a look at our website. It's mordenimmigration.com, just to see what the minimum qualifications for are and what our target occupations are. And the application form is on there. It lists the documents that need to come with that. And then that's really the first step to the process. And beyond that, there's a few steps that our office takes in order to choose who we feel would be best for the Morden community, and that's done by a committee. And after that committee okays you, then you go on to the next stage, either an exploratory visit or another way for now, but to get into that program and start the Manitoba Provincial Nominee Program application. Probably the hardest part as far as chances is getting through the pile of applications on our desk. We do get a lot of applications. We can't choose all of them. Once we choose people, because we know what we're looking for, and we're choosing people that we feel are going to be successful, once they're past that part in our program where we choose them, then their chances are very, very high for being successful and landing.
Has the process for applicants changed over the years for Morden Immigration? And are there any plans to kind of change that formula, or is it kind of just it's working well as is?
It's been working well as it is. It hasn't really changed well. It was set up well by the first person who set it up, and that's and that's been basically the process. We've definitely been tweaking over time, kind of what to look for and the types of people that are most likely to be successful as far as jobs and rural experience and things like that. So there's been some tweaking, but the process itself has stayed pretty steady.
So going back to, Morden's immigration service kind of being different than others in Manitoba, tell me a little bit about that documentary. I know it's been a while now, but it's pretty cool that Morden was featured in that. And you also spoke at a conference a while back?
Yeah, as far as a documentary, it was great to have been chosen for that because we got a really neat film made about Morden that we use in some of our promotional material, and they just did a really good job at IRCC in getting the information that I thought would be helpful and just getting information that is really interesting out there. So that was just I'm not sure how that connection happened, but they did come and spend a week out here filming, and it happened to be the week of Winterfest, so they got some Winterfest. It's a cultural celebration that we do here in February. Yeah, so we were happy to take part in that. As far as what was the other thing you asked about?
You spoke at a conference, right?
Oh yeah, before COVID, which was obviously easier to travel to different places. I have been asked to speak at different places, different conferences on immigration, different conferences on even governments setting up different programs in different provinces. So I've been able to learn from them as well by going and seeing how they're setting things up, and they can learn some things from how we've done things in the past. I've done some virtual things since COVID, but yeah, everything's slowed down a little bit, obviously.
So if an individual isn't necessarily looking to go through Morden, what are some other immigration services or places that they can go to find more information about, coming here to Canada?
Yeah, sure. If someone's looking at Manitoba, then definitely look at the Manitoba Provincial Nominee Program website. They have some different options for specifically Manitoba immigration. There's also a lot of information on general information anywhere in Canada, including Manitoba, on the federal website, which would be canada.ca.
How about we kind of end things with just kind of a promotion for Morden? Just hyping it up a little bit and talking about kind of the cool services and community there. You mentioned Winterfest, so maybe events and things like that.
Yeah, Winterfest was started 12 years ago, something like that. I always forget what number that is. But it's been a growing cultural celebration of people coming out and just showing off where they came from before they came to Morden with different knickknacks and things from their countries. There's food that people make from their countries that's given out free throughout the day. It's multicultural Winterfest, so we also do winter activities, which would kind of be those Canadian activities that you always think of with hockey and snowshoeing, but we also bring in different cultural winter activities, bannock making. Yeah, I've got our fire department out making a fire. So that's it's a great day of celebration that we took online this year. You can look it up on YouTube. It's I think it's 2 or 3 hours, and we tried really hard to make Winterfest happen again, but in a virtual format. We're really proud of what we came up with. So take a look at the YouTube. If you just search Morden Multicultural Winterfest, you'd probably find that. Well, I'm biased. I've lived here for a long time, and I've raised my kids here, and I think Morden is a fantastic place to have a family and raise kids and work. So that's my bias talking. I'm really proud of the multiculturalism in Morden. I'm proud of how people mix and mingle amongst each other, take care of each other, and I just think it's a wonderful place to live.
If you have any stories you'd like us to share or communities we should highlight, leave a comment on our social media or reach out to us on our website. I'm Ryan Funk. This was You Talk, and have yourself a good one.